Hey guys, I'm going to be giving you a full guide to the game Animal Hospital here on Roblox. So everything you need to know about how you can actually play this game, best beginner guides, and everything you need to do in order to actually understand this, because when I first started playing, I was kind of confused on what I was even doing. So yeah, I'm going to walk you through pretty much everything I know and everything a beginner should know about this game. By the way, as always, I am doing a Game Pass giveaway. So if you guys do want to be entered in my Game Pass giveaway, all you guys have to do is leave a like on this video, comment your username down below, and do make sure you hype the video on screen. You can see how to hype the video. Please make sure to go ahead and do that. That way you guys can be entered. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. So the first thing I want to mention is the fact that this is a very similar game to a lot of like night-based games. So for example, 99 Nights in the Forest, they have a similar concept where you kind of have to do rounds and waves and all that different stuff. Obviously, there's a lot different to it that I will be showing you how to complete, but just keep that in your mind. That's kind of how it works. There's also classes inside the game. So if you open this up, you can see there's a bunch, and these all cost a certain amount of, whatever of these like coins, these animal coins, they all cost a certain amount. So keep that in mind. So before I show you the actual round stuff, I wanted to show you how that works. There's classes. There's also the shop like I showed you a second ago. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the very first thing we're going to talk about. So I'm going to start around, and I'm going to show you how you're going to first start off when you first start playing, what you need to do, and then I'll go through a lot more in detail, in-depth stuff that could happen to you during the game. So right now we're waiting for players. I'm playing it by myself. So on the very first night, you're going to see that there are cameras over here. So keep that in mind. There's going to be cameras over here, and then you're going to have coffee. Now coffee is going to increase your sanity down here. If your sanity gets to 0, you lose. So you're going to have these people come through over here. So you have your patients that are going to walk through, and then you're going to need to treat them. So this guy's going to say their name, and then what you need to do is after this little talking thing goes through, I'm here for my appointment. What we're going to do is we're going to stamp the forms, and we're going to take their picture. Always make sure to check their picture. Make sure it's actually what they say they are, and then go ahead and print it. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second on make sure they're actually who they say they are. And then we're going to go take their badge right here, and then we're going to give it to them. Now, after we have done the very first stage of this game, we're going to walk back here with the person. So they're going to room 1. So we can just head over to room 1, which is going to be in the, obviously everything's labeled. So room 1 through 5 is going to be right there. So let's go to room 1. It also, I believe, also is going to appear red over this. Now there's another person coming in. So we need to do this quickly, but we're going to first analyze the sample. Then we're going to put it in this little analyzer. And then in a second, what we need to actually feed them so that they get fixed is going to appear on this screen right here. So boom, they've been analyzed, action needed. And then up here, it's going to, in a second, it says they have a stomach ache and they need herbs. So I believe they always need herbs on the first run, no matter what. That's what someone said, or someone has told me, that they always need herbs. So that is something to know. Pretty much every time on the first go, you're going to need herb. All right, so the patient is going to recover, and we're going to need to head back over to the front right here, because this is where we're going to need to basically take care of other people. So I'm going to do this again. Now there's a couple of different things that are going to happen throughout this, which I want to show you so that you be aware of. But boom, we're going to get this guy. He's going to go to room 1. So coffee over here is very important. This is going to increase your sanity. So there are a couple things that you can do with coffee other than just increasing your sanity. But if you drink, as you can see, it's increasing my sanity. And now we're back up to 84. Now I'm going to run back into this room and hopefully treat this guy here in a second. But if you check this right here, you're going to see that the patients remaining up here is going to be 1. And this on the first shift, which you can see up here, first shift is going to only be 2 patients. And then this coffee is going to renew in 159 seconds. So let that go. And then the cams are offline. So you can use cameras to detect anomalies. They hate photos. So currently there's no cameras online, but pictures are how you're going to actually detect anomalies in a second, which I'm going to show you. So we're going to take the DNA sample for this guy. Now, what actually are anomalies? Anomalies are basically going to be, you don't want them in your base. Let me just say that. You don't want them in your whole area. So if you see an anomaly that looks super sick or is banging their head on the window or whatever, just close the windows or whatever. So if you go back over to the start right here, you go back to the start, you can actually close the blinds with this little locked button right here, and that will stop people from coming through. So if you see an anomaly, you can actually just shut that and they will go away. Now there's another thing called Skinwalkers, which I'll show you also. Hopefully we need, what was it? An eye drop? Eye drops. Yeah. So it's usually, the first shift is going to be herbs and then eye drops. And then after that it's random. So this person should be fixed. The doctor is arriving. So this guy should be recovering, I believe. So here's what the doctor actually looks like. And he always arrives after shift 1. Boom. I'm going to run back over here. Here's the doctor. So you must be the new hire. He's going to say this always on the first run. You should just know that that's going to always happen. You must be the new hire. I'm Dr. Harlo or Hollow. No, Harlo, that's what it says. Okay. If things get strange, just keep working. So that is decent advice. I will fix up the shutters and security cameras for you. Boom. So now we can actually make them go up and down with this little shutters. And then the cameras are also going to be very beneficial because obviously you can check all these different areas, but with this, you can actually detect skinwalkers and anomalies with the camera. So you need the camera, and you can also use this little camera picture thing here in a second. So this also is going to give you these coins. So the further you survive, you'll get money. And then on a certain day, I believe, I don't remember what day it is, maybe day 7, there will be a shop that appears. I don't know if it's at the end of this tunnel. Oh yeah, this is where the shop will actually appear, and you'll be able to buy a bunch of different things like coins. But then, as you can see, this guy does appear to be an anomaly. So I'm gonna go ahead and just shut this. That way, this guy will leave because we don't want him in here. Now, in a second, there may be someone that comes and beats their head on this window. You can get rid of him, but honestly, I wouldn't. So there is a camera down right now. So this one requires a fix, and that's going to be in the medical, which we're going to have to go fix in a second. But this guy needs to be a patient. This is going to be easier to play with multiple people. I will say that, at least for multitasking and teamwork. So let's check really quickly. Yep, this guy is a normal person and is good to go. So let's just go ahead and put him in the patient room like so. Now, something that I'm going to quickly mention, like this guy right here, I believe this guy is someone that you don't really want to mess with. He's just going to go over here and beat his head on the window. Just ignore this guy. He will eventually break the glass on the window and you should be fine. So just completely ignore him. So as you can see down here, it's saying ... just ignore him. I want to check in as a patient. So I believe that's this guy right here. Let's stamp the forms, take a picture. Now let's look at the actual picture first. And he does appear to be a normal person. So we're going to go ahead and just check this guy in as well. I need to go check on the other patient. So I'm going to go do that really quickly and get him everything he needs. But something I want to mention really quickly is there's an NPC card called Barney that will walk in every once in a while. And when he walks in, he's going to actually ask you to give him coffee. Now there can be good rewards to this, like getting another coffee machine if you complete the whole quest line. But again, that is kind of up to you. I don't know if you want to do it. Eventually though, he'll ask to hide from everyone. And if you help him hide, you'll get the reward, which is going to be the second coffee machine. So Barney will come in and he will help you pretty well. And it's definitely worth it to do because that coffee machine is going to help you keep your sanity up very, very long. And overall, you just need to be doing that if you're trying to stay. So boom, this guy needs some eye drops. We'll run over here and we'll get him some eye drops. Now, another mechanic is this goo, and you need to clean this goo up. This can happen and drop from certain people that are sick, and you need to clean this up because it will just consume the whole thing. So clean up that slime, and in a second, I'm going to go treat that other person. Now, another thing to note is that there are certain patients that you have to treat immediately or they will die. So there'll be people that fall on the ground when they're checking in. What the heck? So this right here, I just realized this is going to be the camera. So if we fix this camera, we should be able to, view out of that. So that's how you fix cameras. Let's run over here. This patient is recovering, so we should be good with that. Now let's go into a different room. Here we go. Room 1. We have a patient that we just put in here. We take the DNA sample. This room is flickering. I don't know why, because I haven't, gone super duper far into this game. Let's go ahead, stamp the forms. Let's take his picture. Let's check. Make sure he's not a Skinwalker or anomaly. There we go. Boom. Then you're going to just let this guy go through. Now we have one more patient to check in, and then we're just going to go ahead and stamp him with that. Boom. That guy's feeling way better now. And this guy, we need to go ahead and put this in here. Now on shift 8, there's a bunch of stuff that can happen. Each shift can kind of change. So there are some events that will occur, like the ambulance event. Sometimes the game will have emergency events. Again, like the ambulance event where a bunch of stuff will come through. So here's some coffee. I'm going to go ahead and just slap this down so that way I can get some more health. But as you can see, that guy did break the window right here. So that is something to note that could definitely happen to you. All right, let's go ahead and treat the rest of this guy. This guy needs some cough syrup. We'll just get him some cough syrup real quick. Boom. He's feeling better. Now there are special rooms as well, like rooms 7 and 8 are both special rooms that have different stuff. And then obviously some patients will walk into the building and be on fire. And in that case, you do need to get a fire extinguisher. By the way, there is also a taser inside of the game as well as that fire extinguisher, which I was talking about a second ago. So you get the fire extinguisher at shift 3. So once you hit shift 3, you'll actually be able to get the fire extinguisher. And the taser will also be able to be gotten at shift 3, which that's where you're first going to find your very first things. And then the gun is available at shift 1, but obviously you have to pay for the gun. So not super ideal. Let me go finish treating this guy really quickly. But there is also a supply shop after the 3rd shift, which will open up, which I was talking about a second ago, where you can go ahead and buy them. So I'm going to go ahead and treat this guy really quickly. Yeah, that's kind of the beginner basic guide. There's a lot more to this game that can happen and a lot of other things that will happen to you. But these rooms right here, I believe, are the special rooms 6 through 8. So yeah, 6, 7, and 8. Those are going to be the special rooms where you have to do mini games and different things like that to actually save the patients. So boom, action needed. And then I'm going to go ahead and just see what this guy needs. He's got the flu, so here's some cough syrup for this guy. And yeah, that is kind of the base overview guide to this game. That's kind of the overview of how you guys are going to play this game and how you can actually progress inside of it. There's a lot more to go in this game, but that's kind of the beginner overview to this game. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like. Helps the channel out a ton. We're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. We're actually very close to that. So please subscribe. Hopefully we can hit it by tomorrow. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like. And as you guys can see, actually really quickly, while I'm doing my outro, you'll see that there's supplies now that you can go ahead and get from the supply shop. We had no animal deaths. So yeah, as you can see, here's the taser, shock people, 1 use, and then you have the DNA, and then that is that right there. And then rooms 6 through 8 are now open, so that is now an option. Well, but yeah, here we go. This is where you can now get the fire extinguisher like so. Boom, pop this. this. And there's this drink where you can buy the fast cola so you can run faster. And then, yeah, now you can probably buy the taser in a second. But there's a lot of other stuff to this game. But yeah, that's pretty much it, the base guide. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like. Helps channel out a ton. And I'll see you guys in the next video.